Hi, my name is Crystal. I'm 17 years old. I live in Portland, Oregon, and I've been in therapy ever since I was 6 years old. Growing up, I lived in a just plain apartment. It was on 122nd, and from the time I was about 2 years old to the time I was about 6 is the only time I really remember living there. It was just me, my mom, my brother, and during that time my mom had 2 boyfriends, one before the other. And when I went into foster care when I was 6 years old, that one boyfriend had basically blamed it all on my mother and then left. When I was little, whenever I walked into my own house, if the house was silent, it usually meant either A, my mom was unconscious from drugs and I needed to find my own food, or B, it meant she was awake and was pretty ticked off and was about to beat the crap out of me. So nowadays, silence, honestly, it scares me. I cannot be anywhere if it's dead silent. I always have to have music playing or somebody talking or some kind of white noise. When I went into the foster system first, it was very confusing because I was told that we were just going to spend the night at my dad's for one night. And we ended up being there for a week, and they didn't tell us anything at all. And finally, I woke up in the middle of the night crying, and my dad came in and said that my mom had lost her place to live. And next thing I know, my mom is at his front door, and she's pulling me out of the house while my stepmom's trying to pull me back in the house. I finally settled down in one house when I was 6 years old, and after a little bit of seeing how I reacted to other kids, and Patty had my foster dad in the house as well as my foster brother. And she saw how uncomfortable I was around other guys, and she started to kind of question what was going on. And I was a little bit delayed in speech, and I was also scared to talk about it, because my offender, he had threatened to hurt me, my mom, and my brother if I said anything. I was about 4 years old, was when my offender started kind of getting close to me, really. I remember we were playing hide and seek, and he asked me if we wanted to play a game called Gross. And of course I didn't know what it meant. I was kind of confused because we were already playing hide and seek. We were both hiding in my closet in my room. And that's when he started to inappropriately touch me. And that went on for about 2 years before I finally got moved out of my mom's house. In the FSET program, I was in a more comfortable environment where I was only around girls and nobody was judging. The first day, I remember it was my therapist, Amy, and another therapist who is now retired. Her name is Kathy. They sat me down at a table with Patty, and we were just talking. And after a while, they said, okay, we're gonna put you in this group, and there's gonna be a few other girls. There won't be any men in there. And I remember being really relaxed at that, because I really was very scared of men. And I went through that group for about 11 years now. So my counselor's name is Amy, and she's the one that really got me into using art as a form of therapy.
So art therapy is the use of art materials to help people express and explore thoughts and feelings, opinions, giving voice to what is going on inside of someone, whereas they might not have the words. The first time I met Crystal, she was very little. She was very sad. She cried a lot in group because she was in foster care and didn't know why.
So FSET stands for Family Sexual Abuse Treatment, and I honestly think it's a very needed program because a lot of kids are sexually abused, and I found out at a very young age that it's so many that there's 1 in 3. So about 1/3 of Americans have been sexually abused at least once, and it's usually by someone that they know.
The thing I'm most proud of when it comes to Crystal is just what a lovely person she has grown into. She's kind, she's compassionate. When I asked her foster mom about doing the video, her foster mom said she's been looking to give back to the people who have helped her. And I think that just really describes her and what makes me proud of her.
If it was my first day of FSAT and I could talk to my past self, I'd say, you're gonna thank me for this later. I think these programs are really important because I know some people just can't handle the touching on their own. And a lot of girls, if they don't do anything about it, they tend to revert to more drastic measures. So like drugs, alcohol. Some girls run away from home at a very young age because they can't stand to look at their family. If I were to say anything to my offender, I'd say, yeah, you've done this to me, but you've got nothing on me. I'm still gonna do good.